Today is the last day in this pandal, and today I'll be telling you about the last center of Sahasrara. They are all coming. If I come late, it is better, I think. Still, I was quite late, I was thinking. Do you think this is needed on the eyes so much, or are you not getting my picture? Just this one, if you could little bit push it the other way. This one is too much.
That's for the camera.
That's, thank you. So this last center, the Sahasrara, is contained in the limbic area of the brain. Our head is like a coconut. The coconut has the hair and then a hard nut and then a black covering, and inside is white shell of coconut, and inside is the space, the water. In the same way our brain is made. That's why coconut is called as Shri Phala. Is the fruit of the power that is Shri. Shri power is the right side power, and the left side power is the Lalita power. So we have two chakras. Left side here is the Lalita and right side here is the Shri chakra. These two chakras are working out the right side Mahasaraswati's power and left side Mahakali's power. Now the central power is the Kundalini. That has to rise and penetrate through different chakras, enter into the limbic area and enlighten the 7 pithas, seats of these 7 chakras. So it penetrates through 6 chakras, enters into the limbic area, enlightens all the 7 pithas in the brain, which are placed along the midline of the limbic area. So we started from the back, is placed here. At the back is the Muladhara chakra. Around it is the Swadhisthana. Then is the Nabhi. Then the heart. then the Vishuddhi, and then the Agya. So all these 6 centers are combining to make the 7th center. This is a very important point which we should know. Now the Shri Chakra is the right side working and the Lalita Chakra is the left side working. So when the Kundalini doesn't rise, then we do with our right side our physical and mental activities. So our brain is doing right side activity, and that's why our brain is like Shri Phala. Sahasrara is actually the assemblage of these 6 chakras and is a hollow space. On the sides of it there are 1000 nadis, and when the light penetrates into the limbic area, then the enlightenment of these nadis take place, and you can see them as flames, very gentle flames burning, and these flames have all the 7 colors that you see in the Vibgyor. But the last one ultimately becomes again integrated, and it is a crystal clear flame. All these 7 lights ultimately become crystal clear. So you have Sahasrara with 1000 petals, as they call it, but if you cut the brain in a transverse section or horizontal section, you will be able to see that all these nerves are built like this along the limbic area. All of them are like a petal, and if you cut it like this, you will find that there are many nerves in every bundle of nerves. So when it is enlightened, you can see Sahasrara as a burning bundle of flames. When I am speaking, you should not do all these things, please. They are still coming and just disturbing now. It's a very deep subject. So when the enlightenment of the Kundalini takes place in the brain, then the truth is perceived through your brain. That's why it's called as Satya Khand, means you start seeing the truth perceived by your brain. Because so far, whatever you see through your brain is not the truth. What you see is just the outer side. Say you can see the colors. You can see the different aesthetics of the colors. You can see the quality of the thing. But you cannot say whether this carpet has been used by some saint. You cannot say whether this is made by a devil or a divine person. You cannot say that this gentleman, is he a good person or he is an evil person. You cannot say if this deity has come out of the Mother Earth or not. Also, you cannot say about any person who is your relation whether he is a good relation or a bad relation, or what sort of a person he is, whether he goes to wrong people or to the right people, whether he has connections with the wrong side or with good side. Here good means divine. So actually you do not know anything about divinity with your mind. Nothing. Nothing. It's impossible for you to judge a person about his divinity unless and until the Kundalini reaches at least this part, which is the limbic area. You cannot make out whether a person is real or not, whether a guru is real or not. Because divinity cannot be perceived through your brain unless and until this light of your spirit shines into it. Now the spirit is expressed in the heart, is reflected in the heart. The center of the spirit, we can say, is in the heart. But actually the seat of spirit is above, here. That is the spirit, what we call, of the God Almighty, whom you call Parvardigar, you call him Sadashiva, or you can call him the Rahim, and you can call him by many names which are said about the Lord who is God Almighty. Niranjan, they call it Nirahankar, every sort of words which start with Nira, Nihi. Now at every center in the body you receive a different type of joy. Every center has a different type of joy, and there are names for every types of joy you receive at every center when the Kundalini rises. But when the Kundalini comes into the Sahasrara, then the joy you receive is called as Nirananda. Nirananda. Now Ni means nothing else but Ananda. Nirananda. Also surprising, my name is Neera. Also in my family I am called as Neera. And Neera also means Mary, Mariam. Because it means marine. Neera is water. Neera means water in Sanskrit language. It is called as Nirananda in the brain. And this stage ultimately unfolds. First, what you know is the Satya, is the truth. What is this another gentleman is suffering from, that you see on your fingers. First you see your fingers. With your attention you know what chakras, what fingers are catching, with your attention. Then with your brain you can depict what center it is catching. Because if you say this finger, that doesn't mean it is Vishuddhi chakra. But your brain then says it is Vishuddhi. And that depicts it, that this fellow is suffering from the troubles of the Vishuddhi chakra. But still it is rational. Because you see what finger it catches and then you say. But when the Satya Khanda or the Sahasrara unfolds itself more, you don't have to think about it, you just say it. Then there is no difference between your Chitta and your Satya. the enlightened chitta and the enlightened brain become one. There is no problem at all for such a person. There is no need to see on the fingers, no need to say anything on the fingers and then depict it through brain, which you have learnt in Sahaja Yoga, that if you find something wrong here, it means Agya. That's not necessary. You just say Agya. And you just say it and it is there. Then it unfolds more. First it is integrated with, as I said, Chitta. Then when it gets absolutely integrated with the spirit, then whatever you say is the truth. You just say it, it is so. That is how this brain unfolds into three new dimensions. First, it depicts the truth through logical conclusions, because I have told you that if this finger is catching, then it is Vishuddhi. And then you ask the person, have you got a problem here? He says yes. Then you believe in me, and then you believe that this is the Vishuddhi chakra which is showing is true. This is the logical conclusion. In a way that you have experimented, you are seeing, you are still doubting whether mother says it's true or not, and then you are sure, yes, it is so, we have seen this is Vishuddhi chakra. So the truth becomes logically acceptable to this brain. But still there is the brain working out on its gross level. Then the second stage, as I told you, where you believe, you know for definite that this means Vishuddhi chakra, no doubt about it. Nobody, then we start, Nirvikalpa has started, when there is no doubt about me or Sahaja Yoga. But then the new unfolding starts within. For that one has to do meditation. In humility, one has to do meditation. And then also for this new dimension where your chitta itself becomes merged into your brain or into the enlightened brain, for that one has to very honestly and humbly surrender to Sahaja Yoga. Now what do we do when we get our vibrations? We have different reactions. Some people do not even understand the value of vibrations. Some people try to learn what it means. And some people suddenly think, oh, now they are realized souls, they can go on giving realizations, this, that. They go on a ride of an ego trip. When they go on a ride of an ego trip, then they find that they have failed and they have to come back. From the very beginning they start. It's like the game of snake and ladder. So the reaction to vibration should be a very humble, receptive reaction. Now on the gross level, because as I told you that the brain is the one which holds the father in it. So if we commit any sins against the father, then this unfoldment in the brain takes some time. So we start reading books. And though people have told that first see the vibrations and then read the book, still we say, oh, what's wrong, we should read other books. You go down again. Snake and ladder, as I said. That is one of the snakes. We think that what is the need to do meditation, I have no time, I have this thing, that thing. You do not progress. The other point, which is very gross, also there are some very gross people in Sahaja Yoga who enter in. Doesn't matter. But first thing you must know, you have to be honest, very honest in Sahaja Yoga. The honesty is, like I have seen people, if you have a dinner, say for a marriage party, they'll just crawl into it without having any self-respect, without having any understanding as to who is going to pay for it, all this. They'll bring all their family, come down and sit down. There are people who avoid paying money which should be paid. For Sahaja Yoga, supposing they are eating food or they are travelling or they are coming from abroad, they have to pay money for their travelling, for their food. And sometimes, I have to pay a lot of money. Doesn't matter, I don't mind. But it's not good for you. The main thing is not good for you. So, how you behave towards Sahaja Yoga as far as money is concerned is also very important, though it looks gross, but it can give a big trouble in the unfoldment because of the Nabhi catching. And as you know, if the Nabhi catches, it can spread up to the whole of void, and if the void is catching, Ekadasha Rudra, which is placed here, the destructive forces built in. So, before coming to Sahaja Yoga, it was alright, you are doing all kinds of things, and you would have smoothly gone to hell without any difficulties. It is very easy to go to hell. You can take 2 running jumps and go to hell. The rest of it you should see. But going to hell is the easiest thing. For that you don't have to work hard or do anything about it. But when you are ascending, when you are rising, then it is little difficult. You have to be careful that you should not falter, you should not fall, and that you are ascending. So you have to be very alert about yourself, that you are not falling into the same habits which you had. Some people have a habit of saving money at the cost of Sahaja Yoga. Some have a habit of making money at the cost of Sahaja Yoga. Some people have habit of not giving the due amount, and like that. It's something of cheating. They all go out of Sahaja Yoga in no time. They may be looking like great leaders in the beginning, but they go out just like that. And many a time people tell me, Mother, why don't you keep a proper account and all that? But in Sahaja Yoga, I am not supposed to keep any accounts or anything, because my accountants are Sahaja Yogas. If you try to play tricks with Sahaja Yoga, immediately you are pushed down in your awareness, in your Nabhi chakra. You are never helped. You may make 1,000 rupees here, but you will lose thousands of rupees. You might get into trouble. You will have any kind of a problem that I cannot tell. And then you will say, how did I get this problem? So, Nabhi chakra, if you are not honest in your seeking, honesty of seeking not only means I want to seek, it also means what is your behavior is towards yourself and towards others. You have to be honest to yourself that you sit down for meditation, try to improve your Antar Yoga, try to make your thoughtless awareness, this feeling of thoughtlessness, wider and wider. Try to achieve that state where you really feel thoughtless. So the honesty lies as you rise higher and higher, deeper and deeper into your own being. First you depend on me, that after all Mother is going to do everything. When I went to Mother, my Sahasrara opened up. This thing happened, then this thing happened. But what about you doing something that helps you to open your Sahasrara? So opening of the Sahasrara is very important. Now surprisingly, it is so placed that Sahasrara has got the Brahmarandra at the level where there is, at the point where there is the heart chakra. So, we must know that Brahmarandra is directly connected to your heart. If it is not done from the heart, superficially done Sahaja Yoga, you cannot go very high. You have to put your full heart into it. That is the main thing. Like people, they come to Sahaja Yoga and they are murmuring behind, this could have been like that could have been like that, all those things. All such people also are what Christ calls as murmuring souls. He said that be careful about these murmuring souls. Those who go on murmuring behind and taking advantage as if they are trying to save others. All such people also can suffer a lot because they are doing a double game, and such a double game is very dangerous when you enter into the kingdom of God. Any kingdom you are member of, any kingdom, if you are treacherous to that kingdom, you are punished. But in the God's kingdom, it's so blissful, absolutely blissful. Complete blessings are poured on, absolutely with everything. Health, wealth, mental, emotional, all kinds of prosperity you can get in Sahaja Yoga, no doubt. But when you are so much blessed, you are also forgiven and forgiven and forgiven, and there is a long rope given to you to hang yourself, but you really hang fully. It's not halfway. So those people who think they can be dishonest with Sahaja Yoga have to be very careful. Please don't do it. If you don't like to be in Sahaja Yoga, you better go away. It's better from your point of view and from our point of view also. Because in case you are dishonest, you are trying to play tricks and games, and you suffer, and you look funny and strange, then people will say, what's wrong with Sahaja Yoga? So we will unnecessarily suffer. Because we cannot show you in the mirror that this man has been very, very disloyal. We cannot show that. So it will bring a bad name to us, first of all. And secondly, you will be harmed by this kind of a thing. If you are harmed, then also we will have a bad name, that how could it happen. But if you are honest about Sahaja Yoga and about your seeking, you don't know how much God looks after you. Anybody who tries to do any harm to you will be very badly harmed and removed from your path. God protects you out and out, and He looks after you with complete attention and care. And He is so loving that description of His compassion cannot be given in words, but can be only felt and understood. Now the problem is, people who are dishonest are, because of their background sometimes, because of their education, because of their upbringing, or maybe because they are cowards. But there is also another thing that can make you dishonest, is your Purva Janmas, and that's how you take your birth and your Kundali is made like that. But after realization, those people who are of a great valor and great strength ascend so fast that all the problems of the stars, all the problems of your nakshatras and all that, constellations, everything disappears, and you become a Sahajogi, means a newly born, absolutely a different personality. It has nothing to do from where you have come. Like an egg becoming a beautiful bird. So this Kundalini, when it arrives here, the first hurdle the Kundalini has to enter into Sahasrara is Ekadasha Rudra, is here. There are 11 Rudra Shaktis, 11 destroyed Shaktis placed here. 5 on this side, 5 on the other side, and 1 in the center. These are obstruction within us built by two kinds of sins we commit. If we bow our head to wrong type of gurus and submit ourselves to their vicious ways, then we develop Rudra problems on the left hand side. These 5 go out. If you have, I think it's the other way around. If you have bowed, because I've never bowed to anybody wrong, so I don't know what to say. The mistake comes from there. If you bow to someone who is a wrong type of a person and who is anti-God, then the problem comes on this side of the thing, on the right side. If you have the sense that I can look after myself, I am my own guru, who can teach me, I don't want to listen to anybody, and I don't believe in God, who is God, I just don't care for God. All such feeling, if you have, then your right side doesn't catch, but the left side catches, because right side moves this side and the left side this side. So these 10 things, and one is Virata Vishnu, because also in the stomach we have got 10 Guru Sthanas and one that of Vishnu. So the seeking is also wrong, as well as these 10 Gurus are there. Then you develop this Ekadasha Rudra. When this thing is set in within you, as I said, one on this side, one on that side. So those people who are bound to wrong type of people develop a temperament or a kind of a personality which is very vulnerable for incurable diseases like cancer and all that. You may develop cancer or any such disease. Those who are bound to wrong type of people. Now those who think I am better than anybody else, I don't care for God, I don't want God, I have nothing to do, all such people develop the left side Ekadasha. And left side Ekadasha is extremely dangerous too, because such people develop the problems of the right side, heart attacks, physically I am saying, and all other problems of the right side. So one of the greatest hurdles of Kundalini entering into Sahasrara is this Ekadasha Rudra, which comes from void. And which covers the Medha, is the plate of the brain. and that is how it cannot enter into the limbic area. Even those who have been to wrong gurus, if they have reached right conclusion and surrender themselves to Sahaja Yoga, accepting their mistakes and saying that I am my own guru, they can be cured. And those who have been thinking that I am above all, I don't believe in God, who is God, I don't believe in any prophets or anything against God or prophets is the same. Anti-God personality who talks like that, who develops the problems, gets alright if he humbles down himself and accepts Sahaja Yoga is the only way of entering into the super consciousness. I have seen people who have been tantrikas are being saved. I have seen people who have done all kinds of wrong things have been saved. Those people who were members of very funny, strange organizations have been saved. But it is very difficult to convince anyone that whatever they are doing has been wrong and they should come to right path. So, a star came to play its part called Pluto, and this star is the one which has brought cancer disease, because Pluto is the one that cures cancer or all such diseases which are incurable. So those people who just go headlong into wrong paths suffer from funny type of heart troubles, palpitations, insomnia, vomitings, giddiness, all sorts of we can say irrelevant talking. It is a very serious thing to go to a wrong guru and bow to him. Sahasrara becomes a closed area for such a person. The persons who are against Sahaja Yoga have a very strong Sahasrara, like a nut, in the sense that it's such a strong shell that you cannot just break it. It's a strong shell, like a thick nut. Even if you want to use a hammer, you cannot break it. Today, the time has come that you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. You have to. You did not recognize any saints, any prophets, anyone, any incarnations. But today the condition is that you have to recognize. If you do not recognize it, your Sahasrara cannot be open, because this is the time when the Sahasrara was open and you have to have your realization. So it's a very important thing that you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. There are many people who say that, Mother, why to believe in Sahaja Yoga this way? We can just call you just Mother, you could be my mother. See? Alright, doesn't matter. But you can't get your realization. And even if you get it, you cannot retain it. So you have to recognize. Recognition is the only worship of Sahaja Yoga. Recognition is the only worship when you want to know God in Sahaja. All the other ganas, devtas, deities, shaktis are one in unison in Sahaja Yoga. And anyone who does not recognize Sahaja Yoga, they just are not bothered about you, what sort of a person you are. For example, a man who worships Shiva, he comes to me and I find his heart is catching. Surprising. He says, Mother, I worship Shiva. How is it my heart is catching? I said, you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. Just ask Shiva. And when he asks the questions to Shiva, then only the vibrations start flowing. So, Sahasrara takes charge that it makes you recognize and also it convinces you to prove it. And by this proving, even if you are not recognizing, then you cannot get your realization. But those who recognize also recognize partly. They take liberties, they behave in a funny manner without understanding that who is this person who is here. I have seen many a times, I am talking, people are just putting their hands up, Kundalini, they are just talking, chit-chatting. I am surprised because if you have recognized, then you should know whom you are facing. Because it's not for my good, I am not going to lose anything. But only you in your ascent have not recognized, that shows that you have not yet recognized. And the way some people try to monopolize me also is absolutely wrong. There is no need to monopolize me, nobody can monopolize. There are some people who say that Mother must have misunderstood. I never misunderstand, there is no question. Or some people try to tell me do this, do that, that also not necessary. Try to open yourself to this protocol, which is very important in Sahaja Yoga, which I have told for the first time today. That you must try to recognize in a full way. And if you do not recognize, I am sorry, I can't give you the realization it will sustain. It will start, but it may not sustain. So this is the simplest way of achieving your higher things, is by recognizing gradually and recognizing gradually. It is very difficult to tell anybody if something is wrong with that person. It's impossible. After Sahaja Yoga, I can tell you this chakra is catching, that chakra is catching. But also because you know what does that chakra means, you can come back on me, no, Mother, you see, it's not so, I am not. That's not so. Why should I tell you you are catching? You have to cleanse yourself with full honesty. But first thing is to recognize with full humility and understanding. Once you have recognized, gradually you will do everything that has to be done. You know what is to be done. Now the essence of Sahasrara is integration. In Sahasrara all the chakras are there, so all the deities get integrated. And you can feel their integration. That means when you get your Kundalini in Sahasrara, your mental, emotional and your spiritual, everything being becomes one. Your physical being also merges into it. Then you have no problem as to, yes, I love Mother, but I'm sorry, I have to steal this money. Yes, I know, I recognize Mother, yes, I know she's great, but I can't help it, I have to tell her lies. or I have to do this wrong thing because after all I can't help it. There is no compromise with me. It has to be completely integrated. Your dharma should be corrected. You cannot do anything wrong and then say I am a Sahaja Yogi. You cannot. But for this, the strength comes from within. Your spirit strengthens you. You must just put in your willpower that yes, let my spirit act. And then you start acting according to the spirit. Once you start acting according to the spirit, you find you have no slavery of anything. You become samarth, means equal to your meanings. Samartha, also samarth means powerful personality. So you develop that powerful personality which has no temptations, which has no wrong ideas, which has no catches, no problems. But people who are sneaky, sly, try to play some tricks, are really harming themselves, not Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga is going to be, it has been and will be, is going to be established. Even if there are 10 people in the boat, God is not bothered. It's only my botheration as a mother. As a mother, I want many people to come up in the boat. But don't try to jump back by doing all dishonest things. So this is what it is simple, that you are integrated. By integration you get the power to do what you understand, and you have power to feel happy with what you understand. So you come to a stage where you develop this Nirananda, and this Nirananda you develop when you are absolutely the spirit. In Nirananda state, there is no duality left. It's Advaita. It's one personality. That is, you are completely integrated, and the joy is not any more dented. It's complete. It hasn't got a happiness and a sorrow aspect, but it's just joy. The joy is not that you laugh loud. The joy is not that you're always smiling. No. It's the stillness, the quietude within yourself, the peace of your being, of your spirit, that asserts itself into vibrations. You feel that when you feel that peace, you feel like light of the sun, the whole rays of that beauty spreading. But first of all, we are cowed down by our own personal, selfish, stupid ideas. Throw them away. We have them because we are insecure, because we have wrong ideas. Throw them away. Just stand alone, one with God, and you will find all these fears were useless. Our cleansing is very important, and that cleansing comes only when you really practice the cleansing as told in Sahaja Yoga. The Sahasrara is the blessing of the heavens, I should say. It has worked out so well. It's very difficult to break the Sahasrara, and when I really broke it, I didn't know that it would be that successful. First I thought it's still premature, because there are many Rakshasas still on the street selling their goods. And there are many fanatics who are calling themselves by the so-called religions they are following. Not the real religion of the Atma. But gradually it has taken its roots. Now let this truth take its root within yourself through your Sahasrara. And once this truth becomes absolutely the light that guides you, the light that nourishes you, the light that enlightens you and gives you a personality that has the light, then only you should know that your Sahasrara is completely enlightened by your spirit. Your face should be such that people should know that there is a personality who is standing before you who is light. This is how Sahasrara is to be looked after. For looking after Sahasrara, it is important that you should try to cover your head during winter time. It's better to cover your head during winter time so that there is no freezing in the brain, because brain is also made of meda, means fats, so it should not be frozen. Moreover, you should not take too much heat on your brain. To keep your brain alright, you should not sit in the sun all the time as some of the Westerners do. Then your brain melts and you become a crazy person. Is a sign that a person is going out for madness. Is something which I have told many a times, that don't take too much heat on your head. Even if you are sitting in the sun, keep your head covered. Covering of the head is very important, but the covering of the head should be done occasionally, not all the time, because if you just put a very heavy band around your head, then the circulation becomes poor and you may have trouble with bad circulation. So it is an occasional opening of the head to the sun and to the moon, occasional. Otherwise you will sit in the moon and land up in the lunatic asylum. Anything I tell you, you must know that in Sahaja Yoga we have not to go to anything ati. Even sitting in the water, some people will sit for 3 hours. I never said so. Only for 10 minutes you have to sit, but with full heart. If I tell them anything, they'll go on doing it for 4 hours. There's no need. Do it for 10 hours. Give your body different types of treatments. Not all the time the same thing. The body gets bored or gets absolutely overburdened. Now if you tell somebody this is your mantra, alright, it is to be used till you get rid of your chakras, finished. Now some screw is to be put here, alright. Now what you do, you put the screw till it fixes. You do not go on even when it is fixed. Are you going to screw it more and more? So that the whole thing gets spoiled. It's better that use wisdom. And for this wisdom, we must know that it is Sri Ganesha or Jesus Christ who are placed on both the sides. Here is Mahaganesha, here is Jesus Christ. Both of them help you to correct your vision, understanding, and give you wisdom. So the wisdom lies not in sticking on to something. Sahaja Yogis are not stuck up people. If they are stuck up, they are not progressing. You are not to get stuck up with ideas and stuck up with things. You have to be all the time moving. And in movement, it doesn't mean that you should fall from somewhere and people think, oh, we are earning such a lot because we are falling down. You have to ascend in your movement, not to fall. So when you are achieving something in Sahaja Yoga, first of all, you should see your health should be alright. Your mind should be normal. You should be a normal person. If you are still barking at people, then know that there is something wrong with you. Or if you are still sulking and still tantrumish, and if you are still in a bad mood, then think you are not yet a Sahaja Yogi. You can judge yourself. If you are free like a bird, then it's alright. But that doesn't mean on the road you start singing like a bird and jumping on a tree. You see, any analogy I give to a stupid man, he can behave in a very stupid way. But to a wise man, he discreetly uses it for a proper purpose. So one has to understand Sahaja Yoga is known by the discretion person has. Now what happens actually, that you get stuck with one thing, that is your Atma, and the whole your being floats like a patangas does, or a kite that floats, goes all over the places, everything, but you are stuck to one thing, that is your spirit. And if you could really do it genuinely and honestly, not worry too much about your money and your families and other mundane things, just don't worry about anything. You don't have to worry, just give it a month. If it doesn't work out, then work out, finish it. What's that wrong? If it works out, well and good. Not that your desire is important, but thy will be done. First you say thy will be done, then it is so surprising that your wills change, your desires change, and whatever you say is done. But when this also comes up, people develop an ego. So be careful. It is all done by the Shakti and not by your Atma and not by you. You have to be the Atma, and once you become the Atma, you become into akarma, where you don't know that you are doing it, just works out. You don't feel, you are not aware. I wish after all these lectures, most of your chakras must have been open. But this is all my work. You have to also do some homework, and you have to also work and see for yourself, be alert. Try to face yourself in the mirror and see for yourself how far honest you have become, how far clean have you become, how far friendly you are in collectivity, which is a very important point in Sahaja Yoga. If you are not collective, if you are funny, if you are strange, if you cannot communicate with others, then something wrong. And then you should face yourself as you are and try to correct it. Because you separate yourself from yourself, like I separate my sari from myself and try to clean it. In the same way, you separate yourself from yourself and try to clean it. This is the way Sahaja Yogis are going to ascend. When the Sahaja Yogis will ascend, the rest of the things also will ascend. Many Sahaja Yogis of this kind will impress so many people that they will also ascend. So the whole thing can ascend very fast, but you people who are rising higher should try to rise higher and higher without being aware of it. That's very important. Those who think that others are higher than them are also sadly mistaken, because that's not so. It's the whole that's rising up. Nobody should feel that way inferior or in any way low or feel insulted that somebody thinks me low. Let somebody think, what does it matter? Divine doesn't think so. So all these little things you should be careful about, and otherwise it's very easy in this Krita Yuga achieve the ultimate goal of Atma Sakshatkar. I think today I have told you quite a lot about Sahasrara, but if you have any problem about Sahasrara, you may ask me now, but only about Sahasrara and nothing else. Is better to ask me questions about Sahasrara instead of all other things. ऐसा करो कि ये दोनों को रख दो, इसको इस पर रख दो. You can ask a question. नहीं, ऐसे ऐसे बिछा दो, एक ही को बिछा के दो. बहुत लो है. ठीक है, चेयर में आप इसकी सीट जो है ना,
भी नहीं है।
चल जान दो तो जरा प्लास्टिक की चीज़ें जो होती हैं बनाने को चाहिए। काय प्रश्न विच्छेद असले तर काय काय म्हणतात
ते म्हटलं समाधीमध्ये बिंदू सारखं दिसतंय मला.
हे आता दिस इज द ट्रबल विथ यू read some nonsensical book, samadhi, bindu, this, that, all that. Now please forget it. Please forget all these things. Samadhi. Samadhi means first is the nirvichar samadhi. First is nirvichar samadhi that you achieve when the kundalini just comes out of your head. Samadhi means the dhi means the buddhi. And when it has got enlightenment, it means samadhi. So first of all, the buddhi gets enlightened. Just now I told you about that one. The first enlightenment. Now the bindu and this and that are higher stages, are the bindu. Then bindu and then valaya. But you should not be futuristic. Just now if you have read some book, no use trying to show off that. That's not a good thing. Just try to see what you are. Why do you want to talk about things which do not concern at this stage? Just now, supposing you are going by bullock cart. Why do you want to ask about the aeroplane? Just now you go by bullock cart, then you get into the train, then you get into the aeroplane. Alright? One by one. Not like this. Because you have read the book, doesn't mean that you are supposed to know everything. All these books are written by some sort of crankish fellows who have read something here and there and have put it down. But you must experience. I am your mother. So I don't want to give you big ideas, this and that. I want you to do the way we have to move. As a mother would say, now this is the way you are. Now you are in the first class, so pass your first exam. Then you will go into the second class, then pass your exam. Everybody has to go that way to mature properly. There should be no immaturity in a personality. So all these books that you have read, you better throw them away. It's no good. But if it is by some realized souls, you can keep them and think that they are higher people and we have to be at their stage. Only by reading the book you don't become those personalities, do you? आता पुढचं काय?
नाही बाप्पाचे असेलच काय.
असलेच प्रश्न आहे. All such questions are there, one better than the other. I tell you, it is such a empty thing. How can you be satisfied with empty things? You haven't got anything. First of all, achieve a state. First of all, settle down. Gradually, you will know what. By reading books, you do not become anyway realized soul, do you? According to Mr. Kulkarni, all questions are of this type. They are of no use. That only means that you have read some books, that's all, finished. Nothing more than that. And it's true. If you have just read some books, you are just coming and quoting here, no use. Gradually come up. If you are honest and if you want to have it, then come up gradually. Just don't try to show off anything. You better give in writing.
I request that you please give a part of your lecture in Hindi because some people cannot understand English, they find it.
Alright. You see, now I have given my lecture in English, but I give my lectures in Hindi also in different places. Here I am giving in English. So those who want to hear me in Hindustani can come to other programs. कहाँ है भाई 7 तारीख को?
7 तारीख दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में.
हाँ?
दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी गांधी भवन
Gandhi Bhavan in Delhi. I speak in Hindi. Then उसके बाद
7th evening 7 तारीख शाम को.
हाँ 7 तारीख शाम वहाँ जाइए. आपको हिंदी में सुना देंगे, सब भाषाओं में सुनाते हैं. हिंदी में आपको सुना देंगे. फिर कालका जी भी जा रहे हैं 10 तारीख को. और कहाँ पे जा रहे हैं? 9 तारीख को. कहाँ?
9 तारीख
जंगपुरा में 9 तारीख को जा रहे हैं. वहाँ सब हिंदी में बोलते हैं. अभी मंदिर में गए थे, वहाँ हिंदी में बोले थे.
8 तारीख को
हाँ 8 तारीख को सफदरजंग एनक्लेव में. सब पते आप ले लीजिए, वहाँ तशरीफ लाइए तो मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगी. और तब ये लोग बेचारे जो अंग्रेज आए हुए हैं ये सिर्फ ध्यान में बैठे रहते हैं। ये तो नहीं कभी कहते कि आप हर समय अंग्रेजी में बोलिए, हम इतने दूर से आए हैं, इतना रुपया खर्चा कर, कोई भी नहीं ऐसा कहता।
एक प्रश्न असा पुस्तकी आहे.
हाँ?
असा एक पुस्तकी प्रश्न आलाय.
क्या पुस्तकी? He calls it pustaki, pustaki questions, pustaki. You see, it is nothing divine, it's all pustaki. You see, it's true. That's why I used to wonder why Kabir Dasa said, Padhi Padhi Pandita Murakha Bhaye. Now I know why he said it. Because by reading, people really become funny and they just try to test me, my knowledge, or try to show off their own knowledge. Kya pustaki?
What is the relation between Kundalini, Prana, astral body and soul? Are they same or are they same but different forms?
Astral body, prana,
Kundalini and soul.
so. Now this gentleman who has asked the question perhaps has come only today. Otherwise I have explained most of these things. But for your benefit I'll tell you. First is Kundalini. Kundalini is the pure desire to be one with God, and this energy is placed in the sacrum bone, which is awakened when some authorized person from God can raise it. This is Kundalini, is pure desire. Now prana is the Shakti, expression of the Shakti of the right side, that is Mahasaraswati Shakti, is created out of 5 elements called prana. Astral, what? Astral body.
Astral body.
Astral bodies are, in simple Hindi language, are bhoots, and they are the people who just come into your being and take your soul out. Never try these tricks. Never. These tricks are tried in America very much, and I've told them not to try such tricks, and horrible things are happening because a person living in Geneva had a child, and you know English people don't keep their children sleeping with them. So the child used to sleep in another room, and the lady, her grandmother, who was fond of this child, wanted to talk to the child through this astral body business, and every night she used to talk to the child. Ultimately, so happened that the soul of the child, which she used to call out, could not return back to the body, it got lost, and the child died. It has so many problems, astral body things are, that it is nothing but a dead soul from the left or the right can come into you and can carry your soul outside your body, and you can be lost, you can be dead. So this is something going just the other way round than the Kundalini awakening. By Kundalini awakening, your Prana Shakti and your Manas Shakti are integrated, and you become one with the divine. So your super consciousness is awakened. पुस्तकी झालं आता आणखी पुढचं असलं तर काय हरकत नाही थोडं बहुत.
I can feel the Kundalini reaching my head, but I can't feel it come out, and I can't feel the full vibrations.
That is good. Somebody is feeling the Kundalini on their head. That is what Kabir Das has clearly said. Shunya shikhara para anahada bajire. So the anadahata is hitting the fontanelle bone, but it is not coming out. That's it. Then means it has not broken the Brahmarandra. Simple as that. Till it has not broken the Brahmarandra, you cannot feel the cool breeze. It's absolutely spontaneous. It has to work out that thing. So it's correct, your Brahmarandra is not broken, that is your state. So it has to break. And the reason for that is something wrong with your heart. If your heart is clean, it will break. If your heart is strong, it will break. But if you have a weak heart also, it will not break. If you are suffering from heart trouble, it will not break. It has something to do with your heart. If you are a seeker of other things than spirit, also it may not break. So there are many reasons, various reasons why this Brahmarandra won't break. But what is the reason, that we have to find out yourself. You can face yourself and find out what's the matter. क्या दे दीजिए, इनको दे दीजिए.
वो मैंने वाइब्रेशन वाला अभी लिखा था, वो मैंने लिखा था.
क्या वाइब्रेशन का लिखा बेटे?
अभी इन्होंने बोला था
Brahmarandra. We'll work it out. We'll work it out for you, alright? Sit down. Doesn't matter. We'll work it out. Don't you worry. It will work out. Huh? It takes sometimes little time. Doesn't matter. Why should you have fear about it? Just it will work out.
I have a headache right away.
Yes, we'll work it out. Alright? It will work out. Who else? What else is there?
One man says he had met Muktananda. Now we finally want to be closely with your Sahaja Yoga Meditation Center. I fully believe that we will be able to achieve the main aim of life by self-realization. Mother, please advise and awaken our Kundalini so as to get rid of all physical and mental ailments.
This is Muktananda. Arey baap re baap. Terrible fellow. There is a mantra for it. Who are the people of Muktananda? Just raise your hands, please. Those who have written this letter about Muktananda, raise your hand, please. So now we'll tell you the mantra how to get rid of the problem. Alright? There's a mantra for that, who he was in the past life and all that I know, and we know how to get rid of it. But you have to religiously do it. Religiously do it, and you'll get rid of it. I know it has done a lot of harm to many people. But if those who are not anymore into the clutches, we can work it out. Alright? So all those who are wanting to know about it, you will know in our centers, or if you can come on the sites, I'll ask somebody to help you. All of those of that kind. Now what else is there?
एक 10 वर्षाच्या मुलाने दिले. 10 वर्षाचा मुलगा है. मैं 10 साल का बच्चा हूँ. क्लास में 4 में पढ़ता हूँ. मैं क्या पार हो सकता हूँ माँ? यदि हाँ तो मुझे कृपा करके पार कर दीजिए.
हाँ बिल्कुल, 10 साल का तो पहले ही पार हो जाएगा.
पढ़ाई लिखाई में प्रथम, तुझे एम्बिशन, पढ़ाई लिखाई में प्रथम, माँ बाप में भक्ति श्रद्धा, सहयोग में प्रवीण हो सके. मैं आपके सामने ही हूँ, शतकोटि प्रणाम.
अच्छा, आ जाइए आप इस तरफ में, सब लोग पार हो जाएंगे. Those who have not got realization should come on this side and that side, and all of them should be worked out. We have lots of Sahajogis from all over the world, and everybody must get realization. No doubt about it.
Physically, I have felt no heart problems. My problem is that I think too much about myself. Result is that I have become a psychic case.
Alright, those who have a psychic case also should come this side. I will tell them how it arises from where. Alright?
Yes, kindly advise, being a new Sahajogi, may I practice meditation in office, keeping your photo before me. During office hours, sometimes we have spare time gossiping, taking tea, etc. I want that time to be utilized in Sahaja Yoga meditation in office. Although I started doing the meditation in my house before sleep, kindly advise and give awakening.
No, not in the office. You cannot do meditation in the office at all. You see, you have to be very careful. Actually, you see, office people are so gross and they will never understand Sahaja Yoga. So best thing is first to talk to them about Sahaja Yoga, not about me. Don't even show them my photograph, because it's very funny that some people who see my photograph are frightened. They can't see me. If they are possessed, they even shake before me. So it's better not to tell them about me, but about Sahaja Yoga, how you are helped. Gradually, with great care, like a nice mother, you must bring them to the position where they can receive realization. And then gradually open the thing, but not in the office, please. No, not in the office. You have to do it at home, and you have to do it in the group where you meet in the centers. That you must do every week. That is very important. And once a month in the ashram. Once a month in the ashram.
he says, should one do yogic asanas and pranayams? Should one do transcendental meditation? Second question.
क्या ट्रांसेंडेंटल का क्या?
Transcendental meditation.
Should we do?
TM.
He's done. He's done all that. Now, about pranayama and about, I've already talked about it, but you might have come now, pranayama and all these physical exercises of Hatha Yoga and all that. I've already told that in Sahaja Yoga we to do some exercises, quite a lot. For physical fitness sometimes for adjusting our chakras and all that, and for improving the backbone, we do exercise. But we have to know what chakra is catching. There's a science. It's not done that your throat is bad and you are doing all the asanas for the stomach. All the asanas are not done. Like taking all the medicines at the same time. One is for cold, one is for heat. It's like that. All the medicines we don't take. So according to need of the person, we do. Pranayama also we do. According to the need of the person, gradually we understand what is wrong with us, and that's how we do the asana. Not blindfolded. First thing. Then about transcendental meditation, less said the better. You have to see for yourself what others have achieved. You see, when you go to Guru, you must first find out how much money he takes. If he takes the money, just don't go. First thing. Secondly, how does he live? What is his style of life? Thirdly, what others have achieved? What is their condition? Most of the disciples of transcendental meditations are now beggars on the street. And some of them are epileptic patients. I have seen so many getting epilepsy. So if you have done transcendental meditation, it is not meditation, but it is anti-God thing. So you have to first neutralize yourself, come down to normal conditions, and then you receive your realization. We have a lady here who was a granddaughter of a duke. She lost all her money, and her husband was the director of one of these flying squads that he was having. He lost all his money, he became bankrupt. This lady got epilepsy, he got epilepsy, her child got epilepsy, all of them got epilepsy. They came to Sahaja Yoga when they had nothing with them. Today they are all right, all corrected, and they are doing well. But we do not take a guarantee on anything, because you have to also decide in your mind that you are not going to have these funny ideas, because some of the TM people who come are so arrogant and so egoistical that it is impossible to manage them. So it is your need, not our need. And that's how we should come to a doctor as a patient comes. Then only it will work out. Otherwise don't waste our time, please. Kind. Well, now all the questions are over, and for the last time let us go into meditation here in this hall. I see. Huh? नहीं नहीं.
एक क्वेश्चन आपके नीचे आ गया, इसीलिए आप बंद कर रहे हैं. There is a question under you also. That is why you are feeling uncomfortable.
Well, no, I wanted that. No, because it's very very. पीछे वाला पीछे. बड़ी uncomfortable seat है. It's just sitting for such a long time. It's impossible. सारी कुंडली नहीं उठानी पड़ती, पीछे से इतना जोर लगाना पड़ता है. वो जोर ही नहीं लग पाता फिर. Please close your eyes. सब लोग अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें. सहयोग में भाषा समझने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि यह काम दिमागी जमा खर्च नहीं है. इसमें आपको हाथ के इशारे समझने चाहिए. आप अपनी आंख पूरी तरह से बंद कर लें, पर जोर से दबाने की जरूरत नहीं. सर्वसाधारण तरीके से आप अपनी आंख बंद कर लें. कीप योर सेल्फ स्टडी, अपने को स्थिर करें, थोड़ा स्थिर करके आंख बंद रखें, हाथ मेरी ओर करें और ना गर्दन पीछे की ओर मोड़े ना आगे की ओर, बिल्कुल स्थिरता से बैठे, अपनी ओर देखें, अब दूसरों की नहीं सोचें, आंख बंद करके अपनी ओर। ये तो आपकी शारीरिक स्थिति होगी। और मानसिक स्थिति ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि आप, कोई बड़ी सीरियस बात नहीं है, ये माँ के लिए एक लीला है, खेल है, इसलिए प्रसन्न चित्त बैठे। प्रसन्न चित्त इसका मतलब नहीं कि आप हंस हंस कर बैठे, पर खुशी खुशी बैठे, परेशान होकर बैठने की बात नहीं है। इसमें कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी, कोई आपको तकलीफ नहीं होगी, बहुत आसानी से कुंडलिनी जागृत हो सकती है। इसलिए आप कोई भी घबराहट के बगैर बड़े आराम से बैठे, बिल्कुल किसी भी घबराहट के बगैर। ना गर्दन को ऊपर तानना है ना नीचे झुकाना है, एक बीचों बीच अपनी गर्दन को रखें। There should be no shaking, nothing. Be steady, be steady. स्थिर होके बैठे, कुछ हिलना नहीं, डुलना नहीं, कोई शरीर के हाव भाव कोई करने की बात नहीं, शांत रहे। जो चीजें अंदर घटित होती है, ये अंतर योग है, ये अपने अंदर घटित होता है। चित्त को सहस्त्रार की ओर रखें, चित्त को अपने तालु की ओर रखें. कीप योर अटेंशन टुवर्ड्स द fontanel bone area, towards the Brahmarandra. Keep both the hands straight towards me, straight, not towards yourself, but keep both the hands straight towards me. Now see for yourself from your head, with your right hand on top of your head, if there is a cool breeze coming up. अधांतरी ऊपर पकड़े, ऊपर पकड़े, छूते हुए नहीं. सब लोग देखें, सब लोग देखें. ये नहीं कि कुछ देख रहे कुछ नहीं देख रहे. अब दोनों हाथ ऊपर करें, मेरी ओर दोनों हाथ करें और एक सवाल पूछे कि माँ क्या ये ब्रह्म शक्ति है. मन में पूछे. पहली मर्तबा आपके हाथ में ब्रह्म शक्ति लग गई. पहली मर्तबा ये सूक्ष्म शक्ति आपके अंदर महसूस हुई, क्योंकि आप सूक्ष्म हो. अब हाथ नीचे करें. अब शांत रहें. बहुत ज्यादा आर्गुमेंट आदि करने की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि ये चीज आर्गुमेंट से नहीं समझाई जा सकती, ना समझी जा सकती. इसलिए जो जिनको पार हो गए वो शांत रहें, और जो नहीं हुए हैं वो लोग अगर होना चाहें तो सेंटर पे आए, और या तो यहाँ चाहें तो इधर आ जाएं. ये लोग उनको देख लेंगे. और इसके बाद 3 और प्रोग्राम है, वहाँ आप जरूर आइएगा. और अगले साल मैं फिर आऊंगी यहाँ. हर साल आती हूँ. हर साल आपकी प्रगति और होनी चाहिए, और आप बढ़ने चाहिए, और धीरे धीरे सब बढ़ रहे हैं. जिन लोगों को अभी तक हाथ में ठंडक नहीं आए, वो लोग अगर इस तरफ आ जाए, इस तरफ आ जाए, तो ये लोग देख लेंगे. गवे गवे